We've all been hurt by someone at some point in our lives. Whether it was a betrayal by someone we trusted, harsh words from someone we cared for, or mistreatment from someone who barely knew us, those moments can leave scars. They shake us to our core, challenge our self-worth, and make us question our value. When that kind of pain comes, the natural human reaction is to think about revenge to even the score, to make them feel what we felt. But let me tell you something I've come to understand deeply. Real revenge, the kind that truly empowers you, isn't about causing harm in return. It's about rising above the pain and healing yourself from the inside out. You see, when you shift your focus from the hurt to healing, you reclaim your power. No longer are you living in reaction to what someone did to you. Instead, you are actively transforming the pain into strength, resilience, and self-awareness. It's about taking the experience and allowing it to fuel your growth, not your bitterness, because the moment you decide to heal, you stop giving the person who hurt you any control over your emotional state. You're no longer defined by what they did to you, you're defined by how you chose to respond. Many people say success is the best revenge, and they're right. But let's be clear, success doesn't just mean material gain or public recognition. It's not about achieving something to prove them wrong. True success is about personal fulfillment. It's about finding peace and joy in your life, no matter what happened to you. It's about creating a life that is full, rich, and meaningful on your own terms. Because the greatest victory you can achieve is to live well, in a way that shows that no matter what someone did to you, they did not defeat you. Success in this context means reclaiming your happiness. It means waking up in the morning with a sense of purpose, with gratitude in your heart, knowing that you are more than the sum of the things you've been through. And that's where the power lies, not in seeking to hurt the people who wronged you, but in showing them that you have risen above it, that you've built a life that is stronger and more beautiful than they ever imagined. Now, this doesn't mean that what they did was okay. It doesn't mean you have to forget or even that you have to reconcile with them. It means that you are choosing not to let their actions define your future. The moment you commit to your own growth, you stop living in the shadow of the hurt. You step into the light of who you are becoming, and that right there is the true essence of revenge. But here's the tricky part, letting go. It sounds simple, but I know it's not. Letting go of the anger, the resentment, and the desire for revenge doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, and for many, that process begins with forgiveness, not for the person who hurt you, but for yourself. Forgiveness is not a sign of weakness. It is the ultimate act of strength. Because when you forgive, you're not saying what they did was right. You're saying that you refuse to carry the weight of it anymore. You're freeing yourself from the prison of pain that revenge would have you trapped in. You see, when you carry the desire for revenge in your heart, it's like holding onto a burning coal, waiting to throw it at the person who hurt you. But in the process, you're the one getting burned. By letting go, by forgiving, you're not letting them off the hook. You're letting yourself off the hook. You're releasing the hold their actions have. Success is your story. It's the chapter you get to write after everything you've been through. And let me tell you, that's one of the most empowering things about life. No matter what someone else does to you, no matter what obstacles or hard edges you face, the story of your success is entirely in your hands. The truth is, when people hurt you, they might think they've taken something away, your confidence, your happiness, your security. But what they can never take is your ability to rise above and create a life that's richer, fuller, and more meaningful than the one you had before. The moment you realize that success isn't about anyone else's opinion of you, or even about proving anything to them, you become unstoppable. Success in its truest form is about fulfillment, about becoming the person you were always meant to be, regardless of what others think or say. It's not measured by external markers like money, status, or recognition, though those things may come. It's measured by how you feel when you look in the mirror and see someone who didn't allow the pain to win. It's about knowing deep down that no matter what, you stayed true to yourself and you thrived in the face of adversity. Success is not a destination, it's a journey. And along that journey, you get to decide how each twist and turn shapes you. The people who hurt you, who doubted you, who tried to keep you down, they are not the authors of your life. You are. Their actions don't write your ending. What writes your ending is your resilience, your courage, your ability to keep moving forward, even when the path seems impossible. There's something incredibly powerful about taking the hurt and channeling it into your success story. It's like turning a wound into a source of strength, turning disappointment into determination. Each time someone doubts you, each time you face rejection, you're given a choice. You can let that moment define you, or you can use it as fuel to build something greater. Your success becomes a testament to your resilience, a declaration that no one's actions can limit your potential or worth. And here's the beautiful thing about success being your story: you get to define what success means to you. For some, it might be a flourishing career. For others, it might be inner peace, a loving family, or a deep sense of purpose. Success doesn't have to look like the picture someone else painted for you. It can be quiet, personal, and deeply fulfilling in ways that matter most to you. It's not about conforming to societal standards. It's about setting your own and reaching them in your own time, in your own way. What's more, success is not just about rising above the pain. It's about thriving despite it. It's about creating a life where the pain no longer has the power to hold you back. When you look at your journey and see how far you've come, you begin to realize that the people who hurt you weren't the ones in control. They were simply part of the story, but they weren't the main characters. The main character is you, and the plot of your life is one of resilience, strength, and ultimate victory. Each step you take toward your goals, each moment you choose growth over bitterness, is a testament to your strength. You are building a life that no one else can take credit for, and certainly one that no one else's actions can diminish. Success is your way of saying, I am more than what happened to me. I am more than the pain, more than the rejection, more than the hurt. Letting go is one of the hardest yet most liberating things we can do in life. When someone hurts us deeply, our natural instinct is to hold on to the pain, the anger, the betrayal. We think that by holding on, we are somehow maintaining control, or that maybe the other person will see our pain and feel remorse. But the reality is that when we hold on to hurt, it only weighs us down. It keeps us stuck in a place of emotional bondage, limiting our ability to move forward, to grow, and to experience the full range of joy that life has to offer. Letting go isn't about dismissing what happened. It's about freeing yourself from the chains of the past so you can rise above and become the person you are meant to be. Letting go means releasing the grip that anger and resentment have on your heart. It doesn't mean that you're excusing what was done to you, or that you're forgetting it entirely. It means you're choosing not to let that pain define your future. Think of it like this: when you hold on to past hurts, you're carrying unnecessary baggage that keeps you from soaring. You're dragging behind you the weight of old wounds, and those wounds continue to slow you down, pulling you further from your purpose and potential. But when you make the decision to let go, you start to feel lighter. You begin to see that your future doesn't have to be shaped by the pain of your past. When you let go, you create space for something new, something better. You open yourself up to possibilities that you couldn't see before because you were too focused on the hurt. You begin to lift yourself up emotionally, spiritually, and even physically. And that lifting isn't just for your benefit, it ripples out into the world. When you rise, you inspire others to rise too. You show people that it's possible to live a life free from the chains of bitterness and resentment. That lifting up becomes a beacon of hope for others who may be struggling with their own pain. The act of letting go is also an act of self-care. When you hold on to pain, it can manifest in every aspect of your life and your relationships, your work, your health. You might find yourself feeling constantly drained, anxious, or even physically unwell. But when you let go, when you release the emotional burden you've been carrying, you're taking care of your mind and body in a profound way. You're giving yourself permission to heal, to breathe, to live fully. It's not an easy process, but it's one of the most loving things you can do for yourself. Letting go doesn't mean you're weak. In fact, it's the opposite. It takes immense strength to release the grip of anger and pain. It takes courage to decide that you will not be defined by what was done to you, but by how you choose to move forward. Letting go is an act of empowerment. It's reclaiming your power from the person or situation that hurt you. It's standing tall and saying, I refuse to let this hold me back any longer. When you let go, you take back control of your own story. You become the author of your life, not a character in someone else's narrative of pain or betrayal. And here's the thing: letting go isn't just about forgiving others. Sometimes the hardest person to forgive is yourself. You may be holding on to guilt, shame, or regret over how you handled a situation or how you allowed someone to hurt you. But letting go means giving yourself the grace to understand that you did the best you could with the knowledge and resources you had at the time. It means recognizing that holding on to self-blame doesn't serve you. It only keeps you stuck in the past, replaying old scenarios in your mind. When you let go of that internal blame, you free yourself to grow, to learn, and to be kinder to yourself. Letting go allows you to reclaim your joy. It's easy to think that joy is something that happens when everything is going right in our lives, but the truth is joy is a choice. And it's a choice we can only make when we've let go of the things that are clouding our vision, the things that are keeping us from seeing the beauty and possibility around us. When you let go, you begin to notice all the things you've been missing, new opportunities, new relationships, new ways of thinking and being. You lift yourself up, and in doing so, you step into a life filled with more peace, more purpose, and more possibility than you ever imagined. Letting go is also about trust. It's trusting that life has a way of working things out, even if we can't see it in the moment. It's trusting that what was meant for you will not be lost, and that the things and people that are no longer in your life serve their purpose. Holding on to the past only keeps you in a state of resistance, but when you let go, you allow life to flow in its natural course. You begin to trust the process, to understand that everything, both the good and the bad, plays a role in shaping you into who you are meant to be. And finally, letting go is about reclaiming your peace. Peace doesn't come. Owning your narrative is one of the most empowering things you can do in your life. It's about taking back control of your story, recognizing that no one else has the right to define who you are or what you are capable of becoming. So often we go through difficult times, whether it's heartbreak, failure, or betrayal. Other people's actions, opinions, or perceptions can begin to shape how we see ourselves. We start to internalize their words or actions, believing that somehow they have the power to write our future for us. But here's the truth: the pen is in your hands, and only you get to decide what happens next. Owning your narrative means not letting anyone else's version of your story become your reality. It's about rejecting the labels, limitations, and judgments that others try to place on you. Maybe someone told you that you weren't good enough, or smart enough, or deserving enough. Maybe someone made you feel small, inadequate, or invisible. But when you own your narrative, you stop accepting those definitions. You refuse to let someone else's limited perspective dictate the trajectory of your life. Instead, you start to rewrite the story in a way that reflects your truth, your dreams, and your potential. This is not just about ignoring what others say, it's about actively reclaiming your voice and your power. When you own your narrative, you acknowledge the challenges, the pain, and the setbacks, but you don't let them have the final say. You don't erase the hard parts, but you transform them into stepping stones for growth. It's not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about recognizing that the difficult moments are just chapters, not the entire book. You get to decide how the story evolves from here. Owning your narrative also means recognizing that your past does not define your future. Too often, we let past mistakes or traumas dictate how we see ourselves moving forward. We carry around old stories of failure or rejection, allowing them to color how we approach new opportunities and relationships. But the past is just that, the past. It's a part of your story, but it doesn't determine where you're headed. When you own your narrative, you step into the driver's seat of your life. You understand that you are not a prisoner of your past, but rather the author of your future. There's also immense power in rewriting the script around your identity. People will always have opinions about who you are, what you should do, and how you should live. They may try to box you into roles that feel too small, too limiting for who you truly are. But owning your narrative means rejecting those boxes. It means stepping outside of other people's expectations and defining your own path. It means asking yourself, who do I want to be? What kind of life do I want to live? And then making choices that align with that vision, regardless of what anyone else thinks. Owning your narrative doesn't mean you're denying your past or pretending that hard things didn't happen. In fact, it's the opposite. It's about embracing all the parts of your story, even the ones that were difficult or painful. But instead of seeing those moments as proof of your limitations, you see them as proof of your resilience. You start to view your challenges as opportunities for growth, as moments that taught you something about yourself, your strength, and your capacity to overcome. The power of owning your narrative is in how you choose to frame those moments. Instead of letting them diminish you, you use them to fuel your growth and transformation. When you own your narrative, you also stop waiting for someone else to validate your experience. You stop looking for approval from others to feel worthy or successful. You stop giving people the power to tell you whether you're good enough or deserving enough. Owning your narrative means that you know your worth, regardless of what anyone else says or does. You give yourself permission to be exactly who you are, unapologetically, and you take pride in the unique journey that has brought you to this point. Another critical aspect of owning your narrative is recognizing the power of choice. Life may throw all kinds of challenges your way, but how you respond to those challenges is always within your control. You may not be able to change what happened to you, but you can absolutely change how you react to it and how you allow it to shape your life moving forward. When you own your narrative, you stop playing the role of the victim. You acknowledge what has been done to you, but you also recognize that you have the power to write a new chapter, one where you are not defined by your pain, but by your strength. Owning your narrative is also about embracing your authenticity. It's about showing up as your full, true self in every situation without fear of judgment or rejection. So many of us spend our lives trying to fit into molds that were never meant for us, trying to live up to expectations that don't align with who we really are. But when you own your narrative, you stop trying to be who others think you should be, and you start being exactly who you are. And in that authenticity, you find freedom. You stop living for the approval of others and start living in alignment with your own values and truth. It's also important to realize that owning your narrative is an ongoing process. It's not something you do once and then it's done. Life will continue to challenge you, and people will continue to have opinions about you. But when you make the decision to own your narrative, you commit to consistently coming back to your truth, to reclaiming your story over and over again. It's a lifelong practice of self-awareness, self-acceptance, and self-empowerment. And when you own your narrative, you create a ripple effect. You inspire others to do the same. You show those around you, friends, family, colleagues, that they too have the power to reclaim their story, no matter what they've been through. When you stand in your truth, when you refuse to be defined by the actions or opinions of others, you give others permission to do the same. You become a living example of what it means to rise above circumstances and live life on your own terms. Living well is the answer to so many of life's challenges, disappointments, and hurts. It's a quiet yet powerful response to adversity, a declaration that no matter what happens, you will choose joy, fulfillment, and peace over bitterness or regret. When people hurt you, when life doesn't go as planned, when you face unexpected obstacles, the temptation can be to dwell on the pain or to seek revenge. But true empowerment, real strength, comes from choosing to live well in spite of it all. Living well doesn't mean ignoring the pain or pretending that the hurt didn't happen. It means refusing to let those experiences define you. It's about embracing your right to live fully, regardless of what has been done to you or what has gone wrong. Choosing to live well is the ultimate act of self-care and self-respect. It's saying to yourself, I deserve happiness, and I'm going to create it for myself, no matter what anyone else has done or said. It's realizing that while you may not be able to control the actions of others, you can absolutely control how you respond, and the best response is to build a life that's rich, meaningful, and full of joy. Living well is a form of silent resilience. When others expect you to be broken by their actions or life's hardships, when they expect you to sink under the weight of it all, living well becomes your quiet defiance. It's choosing to stand tall and thrive, not because you're unaffected, but because you refuse to let anyone or anything steal your peace. It's about flourishing, not in spite of the challenges, but often because of them. Every time you choose to live well, you're affirming your power to rise above whatever life throws your way. There's a misconception that living well is only about external success, having a nice home, financial security, or professional achievements. But living well goes far deeper than that. It's about inner peace, about creating a life that feels good on the inside, even if it doesn't always look perfect on the outside. It's about nurturing relationships that bring you joy, doing work that fulfills you, and taking care of your physical, emotional, and mental health. It's about waking up each day with gratitude and contentment, knowing that your happiness is in your own hands and that no one else has the power to take that from you. Living well is also about self-discovery and growth. Every challenge you face, every moment of pain is an opportunity to learn more about yourself, to understand your strength, your resilience, and your ability to overcome. When you choose to live well, you're committing to your own growth, to becoming the best version of yourself. You're choosing to let your experiences shape you, not in a way that hardens you, but in a way that makes you wiser, more compassionate, and more in tune with what truly matters. You're turning pain into purpose and allowing it to propel you forward rather than hold you back. One of the most beautiful aspects of living well is the ripple effect it creates. When you choose to live a life of joy, peace, and purpose, you inspire others to do the same. People around you begin to see that it's possible to rise above challenges, that happiness is not something that happens to you, but something you actively create. Your example becomes a beacon of hope for others, a reminder that no matter how difficult life can be, there is always the possibility of living well, of choosing to find the light even in the darkest moments. Living well is also about forgiveness, not necessarily for the sake of the other person, but for your own peace of mind. Holding on to anger or resentment only weighs you down, keeping you trapped in the past. But when you let go of that weight, you free yourself to move forward with grace and clarity. Forgiveness doesn't mean you're excusing what happened or that you're forgetting the pain. It means you're choosing to prioritize your own well-being. You're choosing to live well by letting go of the things that no longer serve you, and that includes the hurt that others may have caused. Another key part of living well is gratitude. It's easy to get caught up in what's gone wrong, in what you've lost, or in the ways life has been unfair. But when you choose to focus on what you have, the people, the experiences, the lessons, you shift your perspective. Gratitude is a powerful force that can transform your life from the inside out. It allows you to see the beauty in even the smallest moments, to find joy in the everyday, and to appreciate the journey, no matter how difficult it may be at times. Living well is about making gratitude a daily practice, about recognizing that even in the midst of pain, there is always something to be thankful for. Living well also means prioritizing your mental and emotional health. It's about setting boundaries, knowing when to say no, and protecting your energy from negativity. It's about surrounding yourself with people who lift you up, who support your growth, and who encourage you to be your best self. Living well is about cultivating a life that nourishes you, that brings you peace and fulfillment. It's about being intentional with your time, your relationships, and your energy, making sure that everything in your life aligns with your values and your vision for your next. Ultimately, living well is a choice. It's not about waiting for everything to be perfect or for all the pieces to fall into place. It's about deciding in this moment that you are going to create a life that feels good, that you are going to prioritize your happiness, your peace, and your fulfillment. It's about knowing that life is unpredictable and that challenges are inevitable, but choosing to live well anyway. It's about recognizing that your happiness is your responsibility and that no one else can define what living well looks like for you.